What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Rex Righteous. I'm back with another rap rant. Alright, so I want to give a shout out to all the loyalists out there, everybody that's been tuning in to my videos, even if it's been a while. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to be talking about Shawn Porter versus Errol Spence Jr. My evaluation of their records, what I think they might do, and my prediction. So, you got Shawn Porter with 30 wins, 2 losses. One versus Keith Thurman, one versus Kell Brook. 2 different times, but good fights. Shawn Porter with the lengthy amateur background, pretty good at background. He's been around for some time and has trained with a lot of good fighters. The WBC champ now. I believe that he won a close fight versus Ugas. I never got to evaluate that fight completely, but he definitely shows some weaknesses in that fight. And I think it was mainly because of Ugas' persistence and his background, the style that he fights. He's a big fighter. So then you got Errol Spence, who has a decent win over Mikey Garcia. He dominated him, but not to the way that he talks. You know how he says with the man down and all this stuff. And comparing those fights to that fight to some of the fights he's had in the past, you know, Errol Spence, you know, they call a man down, the truth. I think he is the truth, but I don't know about experience. So I really feel like Shawn Porter is definitely the fighter that's gonna make him a little bit more experienced, you know. It's gonna help him for sure. You know, I haven't seen too much of Errol Spence from the outside. I'd like to see that from him this weekend, and I'm really thinking that this fight is gonna come down to who has the more pop. Now, I've been saying that the whole year. Who can really make somebody change their game plan, you know? I think this fight is gonna be close. I think it's gonna be very similar to Pacquiao and Thurman, where it's gonna be back and forth. A lot of people didn't expect that. It's still a really good fight. Pacquiao and Thurman was a damn good fight, and it has replay value. You know what I'm saying? But Thurman showed pop. He just doesn't have the pop to knock down Pacquiao. Like he can pop. He can make people change their game plan, but I don't think he can drop dudes, especially Pacquiao. You know what I mean? But going back to my breakdown. My breakdown mainly consists of plan A, plan B, plan C for each fighter. So I think plan A is definitely going to be for Shawn to get on the inside, because I think Shawn has more rarities when it comes to the inside. I don't think he's stronger than Errol on the inside, and I don't think he does as much tactics as Errol, because he was calling Shawn dirty, which I think is bullshit, because Errol fights the same way. The only thing is that he doesn't lunge, and he waits for his spots. He also overpowers his fighters, his opponents. Shawn can't do that. Shawn doesn't overpower. He mainly tries to outwork the fighter, and being who he is and where he comes from and what he's done in his life, he doesn't have the boxer body like that. Like, if anything, he would have it more at the 140 division. But once you get into the 147, you're not at that height where it's like you can dominate. Like, like, I don't know, for someone that has a crazy body. I don't know who have a crazy body. I don't know. Maybe Anthony Joshua, or maybe Klitschko. People that have a crazy body. But some people have the fighter body. Now, I think Shawn Porter has the fighter body. But like I said, 147 is weird. That's when the weird people show up, like weird bodies and, the freakish monster style. But it all depends too on, what he can bring to the table. And that's why I think all his experience is gonna help him. Now, I don't know if Errol's gonna fight on the outside, but let's say he does. Okay, let's say he does a few rounds where he's like, all right, I'm gonna hang out, because if we keep going at it like two ox, I think he's gonna trick me. And just by that being put into Shawn Porter's, Errol Spence's head, that right there changes everything. So, and I'm just saying that because he's the younger fighter, and I'm thinking that also when Errol comes into the fight, I think he's thinking, it don't matter what Shawn Porter decides to do, I'm gonna beat him. If we fight him on the outside, I'm gonna beat him. If I fight him on the inside, I'm gonna beat him. So it doesn't matter what he does, I'm gonna beat him. And usually when you come in a little overconfident like that, and you don't have an ultimate game plan for every single, to exit, to jump on when you have to, capitalize off of things, whether it's a cut, whether it's you're losing a round, you have to have exit plans, you have to have plans for everything. And sometimes you gotta let shit just happen. I've never fought in my life, you guys know this, but as much as I've watched, I can tell the boxer that's prepared, the boxer that doesn't have it and still fights like he does, that talks a lot like that dog right there, or a fighter that is looking for experience, but he hasn't had it yet. And I think Errol Spence is that fighter. Now, does that mean that he's gonna lose the fight? Nah, I don't know. I still see Shawn Porter finding a way to win this fight because of the inexperience. And I feel like also both opponents have had their weaknesses shown in their last fight. But I feel like Mikey Garcia exploited Errol Spence in a way where he didn't bring the fireworks, and I don't know why that was. It's been a while since that fight, though. It's been a long while. So all Shawn has to do is make him feel similar to that moment. Yeah, make him feel similar to that moment where he thinks he's winning the fight, but he's calm and he's chilling. You know what I'm saying? If he decides to just go at it with him, like on the youth level, of course that's not gonna work. Of course it's not gonna work. We all know that, and a lot of people are gonna pick Errol Spence for those reasons, because they think, oh, it's a fight. It's not a street fight. You know what I mean? It's a boxing match. And being that Shawn Porter's a puncher boxer, he has to think he has to be on his A game, man. He really has to come in there with plans. And I think being that he fought Yugas last, I think his body's going to be in top tip shape for Shawn Porter. I think Shawn Porter is going to be in top tip shape. So I saw some of the chats in Thunderdome, talking to some of the stuff that I was listening to some of his videos like from a month or two ago. And I was agreeing with him because he didn't sound that aggressive. He didn't sound so confident. I saw a video right now that was, I guess from like a day or two ago, and he caught himself saying, "I think," rather than "I know," and then he fixed it. So he knows that you can't sound like that with the youth, you know, with a younger fighter. Another thing, he's got to show up, because he's gonna be easy pickings if he don't, you know what I'm saying, start looking better. So here's the way I think it's gonna come out. I think it's gonna have the same turnout as Pacquiao and Thurman. I think it's gonna be at least one round closer. I think if Shawn Porter doesn't drop him, because he has to drop him, he's not gonna get the W. I really don't think he's gonna get the W. But I could see it almost being a draw. I think there's gonna be a rematch, and there should have been one with Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao, but I think the reason why that doesn't go down is because Thurman talks so much crap, and then also Pacquiao is a much bigger superstar, and he's also older. So there's a reason why there's no rematch. But in a perfect world, he would have gotten a rematch the next year. So, you know, old school, he would have got it right away, and then Pacquiao would have had to annihilate him, like just destroy him. But my take is Errol needs to come in complete. If he's not in better shape than Shawn, he's gonna have a long night. If he doesn't have a good outside game, he's gonna have a long night. If all he's thinking is that Shawn is an inside fighter, he's gonna have a long night. So Errol's best bet, in my opinion, is to have a really good outside game that can help him finish the job on the inside, or weaken Shawn as the fight progresses, and then bring him into the inside, or do whatever it is that you gotta do to still be superior, still be the general of the ring. But he has to dominate Shawn for the first couple rounds in order to win it by decision. I don't want to see Errol win it by decision. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that, but he can, and he probably will, like that. You know, if he brings his A game, he probably will. You know, but all this man down, he's gonna have to be honest with himself. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to be real honest with himself and start calling himself the truth, and start telling people, I'm not a knockout artist like I used to be. Like, he needs to start being honest with his fans and everybody. So if I were him, I'd try to knock him out. And the way Errol can do it with his stature and the way he fights, with his experience, he's gonna have to bring Shawn to him and just let him get a couple rounds. Doesn't mean you have to let him beat you. Like, nah, you know, still try to win those rounds, but get conditioned to how Shawn's movement is, how his tactics are, what he does. You know, figure out what is it that he likes to do. Once you figure out that, he's younger. Errol Spence is younger. He can just pick it up out of nowhere. He can just start changing it up and start saying, you know what? I think I had enough of this. I think I know what to do. And that's it. He doesn't have to do anything special. He just has to be Errol. He just has to come strong. He has to come complete. But if he's overconfident, where he's thinking, let me just try to overpower him or do like I do to everybody. That's not gonna work, because the titles are on the line. It's in LA. Errol Spence never fought on this kind of level. Yes, Mikey Garcia was that level, because Mikey Garcia is established. He has a great resume, but he really has never fought at 147 on this level as a main eventer. You know, if you put Mikey Garcia aside, you know, there's no disrespect to Mikey Garcia. You put him aside, this fight is it. Shawn Porter. You know, Shawn Porter is 3 times the size as Mikey Garcia. He's gonna feel him. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna feel him in there. And if Shawn has the pop, get ready to see Errol Spence go down, because, like I said, Errol might not like that. He might not be able to you know, to deal with that. He might not have a plan for it. He might go wild. But at the end of the day, my prediction is Shawn Porter wins. Very close fight by 1 or 2 rounds, maybe even 3. And there could be a potential rematch also. What I could see happening, if none of that happens, is Errol beating him on points on the outside and on the inside, being a complete fighter, showcasing everything. But my initial will be Shawn Porter. So let me know what you guys think. Who you have winning, why you have them winning, and what do you think happens next? See, my thing is, if Shawn Porter beats Errol Spence, I think it could really mess up the Pacquiao thing. And you know, Pacquiao's talking about either Garcia, whether Mikey or Danny. So let's see, because the way I see it, Manny's gonna wait, and that's all it takes. Because them boys are gonna go after each other. They're gonna go hard. You know what I'm saying? And we might see a new look on Errol Spence's face, man. He might turn into a humble pie type of person. You know, he's not gonna be exactly how everybody's thinking, that he's always confident, blah blah blah. He's a good fighter, but I also see him as a person that could take an L and come back even better. So he might even come back better after a loss to Shawn Porter. You know, that's my opinion though. So there should be more coming. There's a bunch of fights coming in the next couple weeks. You got Triple G, you got Canelo and Sergey Kovalev. There's one more, I think, Anthony Joshua, and you got some potential fights. Haven't been able to stay home and work on videos like that, but you guys always know, Facebook, Instagram, check the link in the description. Like, comment, share. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that little ring, little bell. You might be shocked. You might get like 3 or 4 videos in a row. But until next time, bros. Peace out. And ladies, keep tuning in, man. Peace out.